to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Good morning. Welcome to Around Kansas. I'm Deb Bisel in lovely Lindsborg. Just had a wonderful night at the Swedish Country Inn here in the heart of Lindsborg. Heather and I have just been exploring Kansas, and have we had a wonderful time. And who knows what adventures lay in store today. We're going to share all of it with you right here on Around Kansas. Stay with us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. Around Kansas, brought to you by Tarwater Farm and Home. Come on by, we'll treat you like family.
Welcome back to the Swedish Inn in the heart of Lindsborg. We had a wonderful night here last night. And you know, while we're traveling around Kansas, we can stay anywhere. There are any number of hotels and motels along the way. But to get the real flavor of the community and the folks, it's wonderful to stay in a place like this that so reflects the Swedish heritage of Lindsborg itself. And if you look around, you can see the decor. You eat off real dishes. Lovely breakfast experience here. We've just had the best time. And you know, in the latter half of the 19th century, Kansas was inundated with Europeans, Eastern Europeans, the Scandinavian countries, and we've got so many communities that reflect that heritage. But Lindsborg just has to be one of the most enjoyable and has done perhaps the best job of preserving that heritage. We're going to visit with a lot of folks today. We're going to go to the mill. We're going to do all kinds of things. But, you know, the best part about this, it's like taking a European vacation right in your own backyard. You know, we're close to Topeka, we're close to Wichita, we're close to Kansas City. And I've had the pleasure of being in Europe. And the breakfast this morning, being here, was just like you'd gone to another country. It's not only going back in time, it's like going to another place. And I was listening to the other tourists who were sitting at the other tables talking about the community and how everybody had been so nice to them. And they had been to like the gas station, and how people had gone out of their way to be so helpful at the gas station. And it was just so pleasing to hear those other comments about the community of Lindsborg. Now I got to tell you, the hardest part about being here in Lindsborg and being here at the Swedish Inn is getting out of the gift shop without, you know, ransoming the family jewels. The lovely Swedish tiles. Oh, these little candle holders are wonderful. And of course the Swedes do Christmas up right, so they've got just tons of really wonderful Christmas decorations to take home with you. Lots of food, just incredible things. So we're going to be packing the car with those things on our way out. Hope you'll join us on the rest of our journey around Kansas.
Gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hi, I'm Deb Bisel, and when I'm not filming around Kansas, I'm the historian in residence here at historic Topeka Cemetery. Now, one of my favorite episodes, of course, was on the cemetery here. And you know what? If you missed seeing that, you can go back and watch it anytime. All those great episodes of Around Kansas are archived on our website. So if you'll go to agaminkansas.com, click on Around Kansas, and you'll find all your favorite spots. So if you happen to miss one, like this one on the cemetery, or if there's just one you want to watch over and over again or share with your friends, share with some of the people who might have been featured there, feel free to do that. And in the meantime, come out to Topeka and visit me in this lovely historic spot. I look forward to seeing you.
This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road.
Welcome back to Around Kansas, and as we were strolling through the streets of Lindsborg, this was irresistible. So welcome to Serendipity, and this is Sarah Ash, who is the proprietress here. Sarah, what a lovely shop. How long have you been here?
Thank you. I've been here in Lindsborg for 2 years, but before that I was on the internet and I was selling jewelry and antiques online. And so for probably 5 years now I've had Serendipity.
Well, it's just a beautiful store, and you've got the jewelry like you're wearing that you have made, and as well as the work of other artists in town, and then the lovely antiques. And then you and your husband farm as well?
Yes, and we have some cattle.
Have cattle, raise wheat, you do all that stuff?
Wow. And soybeans.
So just the traditional life of a Lindsborgian, right?
Yes.
So how did you get into the jewelry making?
Well, I started a while back just doing beading mainly, and then I went to the college, and Carolyn Kaler did a workshop on how to do metal smithing, and I took that course from her, and I was hooked, and all I wanted to do was work with metal.
Well, I love what you've done, and then I love, we were just looking at the work of one of your other artists with the secret keepers. I love those. That is spectacular. So talk about what she does.
She mainly takes...
and that's Marie, I'm sorry.
Marie Pilar, and it's M-R-I-P-I-L-A-R, Pilar. And she takes mostly like fabrics or like vintage kind of beads or kind of some recycled bottle caps and different sorts of things, and then works them into her dolls, and she calls those secret keepers.
They're wonderful. They're wonderful. Now with the antique store, you've got everything. I have to say you've got wonderful taste, and you've got every price range, and you've got toys, and then you've got some what we might call finer antiques or collectibles.
Yes.
So the real gamut.
I try to keep a wide variety just because you never know what people are looking for, and try to keep a wide variety of prices because not everybody can afford like the higher dollar things, and try to keep some Swedish stuff in here because tourists come to Lindsborg and they are looking for little pieces of Lindsborg that they can take home with them.
Now, Lindsborg, of course, has a real tradition of art and supporting artistic endeavors. Of course, Berger Sanson being the best example of that. But I think a lot of the things in your shop reflect that artistic value, if you will, of Lindsborg. Would you agree with that?
I would.
Was that a conscious decision on your part to include those things?
Well, I feel like it reflects me personally too, because I am an artist, and so I like to support other artists in their work too, and so that's one of my decisions to have the store here was because of that, and because the culture of Lindsborg draws that artistic just from being Lindsborg, I think.
Just from being Lindsborg. Now your husband's from here?
He is. He grew up south, well, a little bit more towards Assyria in Bridgeport, but his parents are still there and the farm is out there, and so that's one of the main reasons why we moved back here about 15 years ago, so that we could farm and help his parents and so that we could raise our kids here too.
Well, what a great part of the community you've become. I'm sure they're thrilled to have you here, and I just love the shop. Just love it. Thanks for sharing it with us. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We are having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers and the Kansas Wheat Commission. Together, we are Kansas Wheat.
Welcome to the Smoky Valley Roller Mills. Now, it's a warm summer day in here now. I can only imagine what it must have been with all these turbines going and the gears revolving and this place hard at work. Now, originally this was a grist mill, and a grist mill means that you use stones to grind wheat or corn. Later on, this became a roller mill, so they're actual rollers. And when you look at this mill, it is an industrial work of art. It's absolutely stunning. The mill that we're in right now, sitting on the Smoky Hill River, was built in 1898. It was originally powered by turbines that were run by the water of the Smoky Hill River. Later on, it was converted to electricity. By the 1980s, it was restored to the glory it is now, and it is part of the McPherson County Old Mill Museum. So the museum includes this mill, and it also includes other exhibits related to the history of the area, especially this incredible agricultural history. You know, you can raise all the wheat in the world. If you don't have a way to turn it into flour, it's pretty worthless. This is just a welcome stop. If you come to Lindsborg in this area, this is a have-to stop along the way. We're still here in Lindsborg, and we're right across the street from the old mill, the Smoky Valley Rolling Mills. And this is still part of the park that's operated by the county here. This is Heritage Square. Now, these buildings are not in their original location. These buildings were saved and moved to this spot to preserve, again, the unique Swedish heritage of this town. So the West Kentucky Little Schoolhouse wouldn't have been here, but they've saved these great buildings and put them all together in one wonderful park that you can enjoy, and the community still continues to have events here. So we've got the UP Depot, we've got the Erickson Brothers Workshop, and right behind me, the center point of this beautiful park, is the Swedish Hall from the 1904 World's Fair. And that is just a great like a big ballroom. It's just a big community room. It's absolutely gorgeous structure, and you can see how well the county takes care of it. And this is included in the ticket price. When you go over to the mill and get your ticket to see the mill, this is all included in it as well. They just do a wonderful job. We can't say enough for how hard the folks work here to keep their Swedish heritage alive and to share it with the rest of us who are lucky enough to come and visit.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, Dr. Dan from Doc Talk. If you miss us on Monday morning, you can join us at 6:30 a.m. every Sunday morning on RFD TV. Doc Talk has a national following. We're sure glad that you joined us on Mondays, but if you miss us and you want to catch us out on a Sunday morning, get up at 6:30 a.m. and we'll be right there, RFD TV, 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I'll see you down the road.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Welcome to one of the 8 wonders of Kansas geography. For all you folks who are under the mistaken notion that Kansas is flat, Coronado Heights is a must-see. Francisco Vasquez de Coronado visited this site, likely, in 1541. You know, Coronado, one of the Spanish conquistadors, came to what would later become Kansas, looking for Quivira, the lost city of gold. And of course, the natives that he would encounter kept telling him, it's just over the next hill, just over the next hill. Well, scholars believe this is probably about the last hill he got to before he gave up and went back to Spain and said that no, he didn't find a lost city of gold. Now, what many of the natives didn't understand is that Coronado kept looking for riches when he had this incredible ground beneath his feet all along. And they recognized the richness in this gorgeous landscape. When you look around from this one of the Smoky Hills, right here near the Smoky Hill River, you realize just what a gorgeous land Kansas is. And it's a real pity that Coronado didn't realize that when he was here. I wanted to add that the structures that are here, this castle-like building that enables you to enjoy this spectacular view, was actually a WPA project in the 1930s. So there's a picnic area, there's just a couple of buildings here that were constructed to help people enjoy this. This, of course, is native stone. And the stone here doesn't look like a lot of the stone around Kansas. If you'll notice, a lot covered with lichen, and it's just a very different kind of stone, but it is native to this location. This is a must stop. If you're ticking off those 8 wonders of Kansas, whether it's the geography, you know, the art, all those things that the Kansas Explorers Club came up with to identify places around Kansas, you got to have this one on your list.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome. Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Around Kansas, brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Hi, I'm Deb Bisel. I want to welcome you to Around Kansas at Fort Hays, right next to Hays City. You know, back in the day, that's what Hays would have been called. And Fort Hays was one of those western forts so important in westward expansion, established to protect the travel and trade routes that were going west. Originally, the Butterfield Overland Dispatch. There were just so many trails taking settlers through Kansas and on to the western states. Originally, Fort Hays would have been here to perhaps protect the settlers against the Indians, mainly Cheyenne and Arapaho who are in this area. That's kind of a controversial piece of history now, of course. A lot of sides to the story, and this is a great place to come and learn about it. Fort Hays has several buildings preserved. The original blockhouse is still here. These are the officers' quarters that were built in the 1860s. Really nice digs for the time, by the way. So we'd love to have you come out and take advantage of all Fort Hays has to offer. This is a state historic site. It's been part of the state historic site system since 1965. Originally, Fort Hays was Fort Fletcher, and later on it was built up and moved to its current site. Some of the names that you all know that are associated with the West, Custer, Cody, Hickok, all those people played a role in the history here. Custer actually camped near here on Big Creek and built a real large tent and a tree house for his wife, Libby, who stayed with him out there. And when you read the accounts, especially of Libby Custer and Jenny Barnett's, some of the wives of the 7th Cavalry who experienced life out here on the plains with their soldier husbands, oh my gosh, they're just incredible. Libby Custer talks about this freshet or this rainstorm that hit, and it turns their little camp in Big Creek into an island, and soldiers drowned that night. There are soldiers being washed away in the current, and she said the general was too drunk to do anything about it, and she was so glad that that her general, that Custer, was away at the time and would not know if she perished that night, wouldn't know what kind of danger she was facing. So it was an incredibly historic post. So many things happened here, so many famous people came through here, and they're doing so many events to help interpret that history. One of the ones we hope to come back for is in October, the last Saturday in October, when they do the graveside conversations, and they actually have the ghost of some of these people, and we may come back and do some interviews with them. So we'll let you know about that, and hope you can join us, and maybe you can be here that night too. Maybe we'll catch you on film as well. Stay tuned for more of Around Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream.